Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5:30, and the Ad Hoc Committee for the Rules of Procedure for City Council will now open. I am the chairman, Josh Palmer. To my right is Dennis Hellman and Dan DeArmond. Alrighty, Dan, do you want to open with the agenda?
Yes. Mic's on. There we go. All right. Okay. So, basically what I did was I took the last two agendas, the last two proposals, and I combined them, and I took out the commentary. So basically, it's just kind of boiled down to just action items that we're asking, or not action items, just specifically changes, wording changes to the council rules. Thank you. So I guess this kind of go through them. So there's there's 14. We're going to read down through them. If you notice, there's one I deleted, like 6C was on there before. I deleted that one, and then 12, 13, and 14 are new items. So let's just kind of go through them, I guess. So number one is speakers that want to present on an agenda item would identify which agenda item on their speaker form, and the presider would call on them when that agenda item is being discussed. The speaker needs to stay on topic. I guess just speak up if you guys want to discuss them any further.
You want us to say we concur?
No.
So we know where we are? No?
Well,
Keep
I don't know if you want.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay. All right. The sequence of events for an individual agenda item would be introduction of the item, reading of the ordinance, whatever it is, and then we'd bring the public up to comment, and then city council will either have motions, discussion, vote. That would be kind of the sequence.
And this is during
an
ordinance.
Well, it would be anything that's an agenda item, because not every agenda item is an ordinance or a resolution. It could just be just a approving sewer and water minutes, right? Okay. So
Friday reports or
yeah, right.
All right.
Number 3 is for speakers that are not speaking to a specific agenda item. They would indicate that on their speaker form, and they would be scheduled to speak towards the end of the meeting after new business, but prior to adjournment. We incorporate Patty Klein's structure of the speaker form, especially as they relate to tying responses to public comments back to ward council representatives. Request only speakers ward. Their ward instead of their address, right? Allow for usability comments. I would like to hear comments from the president of council, just because he's got to use this document. So I want to give him some flexibility to modify this if he needs to. But anyway,
I got a question there.
Sure.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, let's go.
In fact, I've got an underline and a question mark. I don't allow for usability.
Yeah.
You got a better word than that?
Yeah, probably. So, the president council has to use this thing. So I want it to be user friendly. Maybe user friendly is I don't know. Let's go through the form.
All right.
Okay, because now would be the time to go through the form. So you want to go to?
Keep going.
No, let's go to this form. I just because we're talking about Patty's form, so I think now would be a good time to let's kind of walk through what this form is going to change. All right.
And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
then.
so we're going to talk about, this is Patty Klein's, that's her draft, and now I've made it. So I want to put the city logo up in the top left. We're going to put Findlay City Council. So she had 2 check boxes, one for oral and one for an email. Mm-hmm. But I think we also need to say whether it's an agenda item or a non-agenda item, right? So, and then, so we got to identify. And then if it's an agenda item, I was going to put 4 minutes, and then if it's non-agenda item, be 6 minutes, kind of in parentheses, so they have some idea their speaking time.
All right, quick question.
Sure.
All right, so at the top there it says oral, in person, then email. Is that for how they want a response from that council member? Or is that how they're addressing council? I mean, if they're addressing council, their email is just going to come to us, and there's no need for that check mark there.
I don't know. I guess I was a little confused, Patty. Can we ask Patty this question? What her intent?
Yeah,
was?
she came up with yeah, Patty, come on up, and if you want to explain.
Kim,
Yeah.
please. Do you have your form?
Make sure you get her picture.
Yeah, make sure you get her.
If you want to borrow mine.
Well, that's important.
That's the form.
I just questioned about this up here.
Yeah,
but okay.
my thought on that was,
You should introduce yourself.
Patty
please.
Klein,
Okay.
Tara Oaks.
Yeah, is your speaker on? Pull the speaker down to your mouth there. Okay.
Light on.
Light on?
Red light is on now.
All right, good.
Good.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, Patty Klein, Tara Oaks, Findlay.
Thank you.
My thought when I put those on there was that the form would be used for oral or email communication. We didn't much discuss it when I
Yeah.
was up here. There would be issues. My intention was to have the ward representative also respond to an email communication. So that's why those
Yeah.
were both on
So this
there.
works great
But
for
then
the
attaching
oral.
it
Yeah, I
and
know, the
everything,
oral.
people
So the
don't know how to
email
do
thing,
that.
I don't know how that's going to work.
Right, and that was a complication I thought of. I thought most people don't know how to attach a form to an email, so that is, it's just a thought.
Oh, so if they wanted to email it in.
Right, well, you know how people email on a topic as well. There's written communication, and I thought, well, if they wanted a response from their ward representative on their email, that section would be, so it would be complicated to teach
Yeah.
people to attach it.
Yeah.
So I understand if
Let-
that's not practical.
How about if we take off the email checkbox?
I'm just gonna say,
Yeah.
if it gets that complicated, maybe the city representative, the city council person can respond privately.
Yeah, and that would be the hope, that would have been the hope all along, but so many times we hear, letter to be filed, and then it goes into hyperspace and we never hear
Right.
from it again, so hopefully that's the case.
I don't know how to correct that. I'm not sure how do we correct that.
Well,
I mean, that's not really meeting procedure rules. I don't. That's just.
I was just hoping for
Yeah, I
some,
understand.
you know.
I just don't know how to fix that.
my thought is it just have agenda item and non-agenda item, and if they want a response, they could put that elsewhere on the form to say, hey, call me or email me at the bottom of the form in that
And
regard.
then who does that form go to then? So it goes to Harrington, gets
yeah,
it, and then
and
what's
then-
he do with it?
Either that can go to the council member or a copy can be made for the council member, and then the other one, I don't know if they have to retain it for records purposes or not, but we could probably do something like that.
My intention to put it on the form was that hopefully these forms could be seen by other members of the public, on the website, hopefully. Because if, say it's airplane noise, people know somebody's already addressed that. They can look and they don't, you don't have to beat it to death. So that was my intention of having it on the form so that others could see what the concerns of other people are. But I'll go sit down because I don't want to jeopardize,
No,
too much.
I'm not. I'm still not sure what to do with it. You guys have a.
That really was sort of the transparency and accountability part of it, so.
Yeah, because
I'd leave it in there and we can work it out as we go.
Okay. All right. That's
Thanks,
fine.
Patty.
Okay, very good. Okay, so then you want to continue going to let's finish this form.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay, so present this form to the city council president prior to the meeting. Attach this form with email communication or include all fields below when submitting an email. We'll have to work through that one. City council president will present this to the submitter's council representative. There's a ward number and then council representative. And then to the Honorable Council of City of Findlay, Ohio, I, so-and-so, reside in ward number 1 through 6, or 1 through 7, phone number or email. So you have to, you had phone optional, but it's got to be either phone or email. We got to
have one or the other.
One or the other has to be there in order to communicate with them.
I mean, unless they don't want a response back. I mean, if they just want to address something, I'd leave it up to them.
Well, maybe that's true. I guess if it's an oral communication, they don't want a response back, then they don't.
Maybe they just want to talk.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's just put, so it's phone or email, and at the end it'll say optional, because they don't have to if they don't want to. So, okay, fair enough. Wish to address your body in regards to issue or agenda item, and then submitters requested action, signature, action taken by council representative, and then representative signatures, and then return to city council, and then that gets archived. I think this does need to be archived. I just like these need to be scanned and put in with the meeting minutes. Okay, so maybe we're good with the that form.
The general outline of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think good, nice job.
All right. What number are we back on to?
You left off at 5.
5. Okay. Comments specific to an agenda item remain at 4 minutes. Comments not specific to an agenda item would be increased from 4 minutes to 6 minutes.
I have a comment there.
Yep, sure.
Is there a reason why we're going to 6 minutes? I mean, I think 4 minutes is plenty of time, and if for some reason they need more time than that, we've always been generous and polite and granted them an extra 2 to 4 minutes.
I was just trying to accommodate that there's the, what is it, the petition. And so in the petition, it was requesting 6 minutes and 60 minutes, and that was what I was trying to. But I'm just one guy, so I mean, if you two, Josh, you're the deciding vote. I mean,
Yeah, I'm partial,
okay
I'm
with
partial
it
to
in.
the 4 minutes.
You're okay with 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys are both, then it's
Then-
4 minutes then.
And we do have a good history of allotting more time.
Okay.
So
Okay, so we're gonna take, I'm gonna change that then. Comments not specific will remain at 4 minutes. Okay. Okay, so comments not specific to an agenda will remain at 4 minutes. An individual can only speak once during a meeting. If a speaker wishes to comment on multiple agenda items, they can choose to speak at the end of the meeting with a 4-minute time allowance. The next one we crossed out, it said an individual can only speak once on the same agenda item. So if it's on a lot of times these things get read 3 times and they can come up all 3 meetings. And so we're crossing that one out. That was on there, and I think we talked about this before. I think we're in
because
agreement on this.
because the discussion around an agenda item can change over
It
the
can change.
weeks.
Yeah, okay. So 6D is public input will be allowed up to 60 minutes, not by the number of speakers as is currently the rule. The president of council should make best effort to balance the number of speakers for or against an issue. The 60-minute clock starts when the first citizen starts to speak, runs continuously until the last speaker leaves the podium, and includes Q&A. The 60-minute limit is cumulative of comment time spent on both agenda and non-agenda items. So that had some discussion. We had some, actually, I think, Patty, I think you commented on that one. My thought there is, I don't think city council is looking to drag meetings out. But if we spent the entire hour talking about agenda items and there wasn't time at the end of the meeting, I would say that's a successful meeting. I mean, because we're talking about city business. You know what I mean? I think, and then that person can come up the next meeting, and but typically we don't spend more than 30 minutes talking about agenda items or any items. 30. So I think the 60 minutes is generous, and I think there'll be time for everybody to speak. But like I say, I think if we use the entire 60 minutes on agenda items, that's conducting city business. So I don't know.
And if it came to the point where we could, as a council, suspend the rules
Sure.
and grant more time.
Absolutely. Yeah, if there's a speaker at the end and we ran out of time, they can certainly suspend rules. That's always the option. Okay, so we're good with all those then? Okay. If you're good there, I'll move on to 7. So speakers will address only city council. Complaints, concerns, or questions about other elected officials such as the auditor, law director, mayor, or council president are not the business of city council. We are not here to defend or answer for other elected officials. Those issues would be handled by scheduling an appointment with that elected official. The podium in the council chamber should be oriented directly towards city council as a reminder to speakers of who their audience is. I've since rethought this. I had a good meeting with Tom Ross just in the last hour, and I had 2 with Tom and then also with the mayor. And the mayor was not fighting for this. She was okay with letting them speak. And the comment I heard from Tom was that it gives the appearance we're trying to protect her, and we're not. We're not trying to protect anybody. You know what I mean? That is not the truth. So I'm okay if you want to scratch this one. I'm okay with that.
I don't have a problem leaving. I guess I don't have a problem leaving it in there. I think it kind of directs the conversation towards
council,
towards the business that we've got to get accomplished, and that seems like there's an hour at the end for other open commentary and discussion if we want it. I don't see it as a problem.
Leave it in, Josh.
Yeah, because the purpose of the city council meeting is city council conducting the city's business, and
all right.
So, but I think I'd want to reword, maybe wordsmith
Well,
a little
actually,
bit here.
to be honest with you, I don't know.
Is this just like is an explanation there?
Yeah, I know.
Like schedule an appointment. I don't know if I don't know if I like.
Well, okay. Actually,
that
to be
in
honest
there.
with you, all the commentary should have been taken out,
No,
and
yeah.
I missed that. So it should just be speakers will address only city council, period. Right, and the rest of it is just commentary.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
so
Starting
complaints,
with complaints.
yeah, complaints. All of that should come out. That's just
Complaints, concerns, or questions.
Okay.
about
And then-
other
and we're not
elected
here to
officials.
defend. That's all commentary.
Commentary, yeah.
Those issues should be handled by scheduling appointment. That's commentary.
Okay.
I mean, you can handle your issues.
But I do like the
choose.
idea of turning the podium towards council because
podium, okay.
that's who they're supposed to be addressing at the meeting when they talk. So.
All right, you want to leave that last one? So we have the speakers will address only city council. Podium council chamber should be oriented directly towards city council as a reminder to speakers. You good with that?
Yeah, speakers will address only city council. Can you add to that? Speakers will only address city council about city council business or something along those lines.
Oh, it doesn't have to be. It could be a non-agenda item.
Yeah.
At the end, it could be a non-agenda item. It could be just,
All right.
yeah. I mean,
have it your way. No, I'm
no.
fine.
Okay.
Have
all
it
right.
your way. It's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
I'm the wordsmithing stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
just-
yeah.
it's crap.
So number 8, the public comment period is not to be used as a campaign platform. There is actually a section in our thing about
Yeah, there's no electioneering.
Yeah.
Something along those.
yeah there is comment. I just want to add that to that paragraph. The president of council should screen out issues that don't directly involve city council.
What did you do with 8? You left it in there?
Yeah.
Public comment period is.
You okay with
I'm
Josh?
fine.
You're okay with?
There's already something in there in the council rules that addresses that. I do believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Are you taking commentary from the audience or not?
Well, let's leave it in there. If it's redundant, it's redundant. Then okay, all right,
I'll ask after the meeting, I guess.
okay. President of council shall screen out issues that we just talked about that don't directly involve city council. Okay. The next one I modified because I had a comment. It was actually an employee of the city and that lives outside the city. All speakers must live in the city of Findlay, represent companies that conduct business in Findlay, or I added, live in neighboring communities that are directly impacted by the city of Findlay. So I think that's fair. I mean, actually, if somebody lives in a township and we're doing some whatever that's and the city of Findlay is making decisions that impacts their property value, yeah, I want to hear it.
You know, Dan, the city does do taxes for some of the local
Oh, yeah.
villages,
No,
so
that's a good
that
point,
makes
yeah.
sense too.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm okay with that. So, well, I don't know. Okay, I'm okay because I wrote it. But I mean, are you okay with that, Dennis?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are both okay. All right. Number 11. Add a new section to the agenda called contractor communications for utility contractors working directly for or within the city. We had this one before. Okay. Number 12 is a new one.
Didn't we change that though? Didn't we change that to like utility contractors?
Oh, we did. Yes. Well, it says contractor communications for utility contractors. You just want to make it utility contractor communications?
I think it's clear.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
All right.
so too.
Okay. All right, let's add that word. Utility contractor communications. Number 12, all agenda items to be prepared and submitted to clerk of council by noon on Thursday prior to council meeting. So it used to be Friday at noon, and Denise just didn't have enough time to get stuff done. She wanted 2 days. We gave her one.
compromised.
I don't know. So it was kind of.
Puts her in a bind.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
All right. Clerk of council shall make best effort to include meeting minutes in the next council package. That was Denise's comment. Just that, it's just very difficult to get these meeting minutes done, and so I just want to make best effort.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Number 14 is a new one also. Written correspondence should remain only written this is a new one. So written correspondence should remain only written and not read aloud. If a person wants to read their letter, then they should read it as part of oral communication. So often I see we get written communications and they want, I want it read into the record. Well, if it's an email, it's in the record anyway, right? Because it's part of, it's attached to the meeting minutes and all that. So I think, I don't understand why we would be reading written correspondence. Either it's written correspondence or it's oral, and it shouldn't be both. But
A council member with a second can always request to have it read into the record.
right.
Does that include members of the staff? The engineer, the auditor, the law director, whatever? Because sometimes there's things that come up and they would say, I like that.
Still takes a motion and a second.
From council you're
From
talking
council.
about, so that they can read their letter?
Yep. So,
So you're saying this isn't necessary then?
Well, I mean,
Or what are you saying?
It's
No.
not necessary unless you wanted it to mandate
Written
that the
correspondence.
letter be read into the record by rule.
Written correspondence.
It's currently takes a motion and a second by council for any letter to be read into the record.
So by default, it doesn't get read into the record.
By default, it does not get read into
Does
the
not,
record. It
unless-
takes a motion and a
unless-
second and then a vote.
Leave it the way it
It's
is,
just-
the way you got it.
I think it's it's redundant.
You don't think it's necessary?
It's not necessary unless we wanted to mandate
Okay.
by
Well,
rule that it had to be read into the record.
okay. All right, let's take it out then. That's fine. I'm okay. If it's redundant, okay, that's fine. We'll take 14 out. Okay.
There is one more item to add to this, and that is
Yeah.
the makeup of the strategic planning committee. The chairperson of each standing committee on council is on the strategic planning committee.
So
That's a new rule. That's a new rule that needs to be
Okay.
updated in
So
the
that's
rules.
the new 14.
That'll
We
be-
just
yeah,
got rid of
there we
14.
go. That'll
Now we have a new
replace
14.
14, yeah.
Okay, so tell me that again.
The chairperson of each standing council
Okay,
committee.
Hang on.
Yep.
Of each standing, what did you say?
Council committee, which would be like appropriations, water and sewer, street, sidewalk, and parking.
Okay.
Yeah, is on the strategic planning committee.
Should be on,
There is.
is on, or should
Yeah.
be on, yeah, got it. Did you talk to the strategic planning chairman?
No, but
I've heard that. I've heard.
yeah, they set those rules. It just needs to be put into the rules.
I don't have a problem with it, I think it's a
Yeah.
good idea.
All right. Okay. Any other additions then? Deletions, discussions? Okay. So, okay. So I want to go through next steps then. Okay. So, all right. So now this is what we're calling our draft final proposal. So we need to vote on this, that we're all in agreement with it then. Then from here, it goes to the legal department, and I'm requesting the legal department incorporate these comments into council rules. And then, so then, Josh, I guess number C is really a question to you. Schedule ad hoc meeting to review and accept final rule changes, or do you, or unless one of us just wants to sit down with legal after they've made their edits, I'd be willing to do that, but just to make sure it's kind of what we're intending, just the word. Somebody has to check the wordsmith.
It would be a short meeting, I think,
Yeah.
but I think it's worth having the meeting, all three of us, and
All
if there's
three?
anything,
Okay.
depending on what feedback we get from
Okay.
from law, I think it'd be a good
Sure.
idea to meet
Okay.
one more time.
All right. Okay. So basically, then we will have a meeting and review the edits. All right, and then And at that point, I think we put a resolution on council agenda to vote on the rule changes. It's just a one reading deal.
It's just the committee report, and then council can make any amendments to that, to the recommendation in that report.
Okay.
So we won't need a resolution.
Isn't there a vote? There's no vote on, or?
Committee accept, it's the committee
Oh, it's
report.
committee acceptance
Committee,
report.
yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so let's change that then. So, place on council and, place committee report, right?
Scratch resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be on there regardless. It'll be a part
No,
of
I
the.
understand.
Yeah.
So place, I just wanted,
Committee report.
so
Yep.
place committee report on council agenda to revote on one reading. Okay, very good. Okay,
If approved.
initiate 2-month pilot. Okay, so in my meeting with Tom Ross today, we were talking about the initiative, and he's got a timeline to get that on the ballot, right? So if we went the full 2 months, it would squeeze that process. So he wanted to make sure that he had enough time. So I'm okay if you guys are good with that to change that to 1 month. So it'd be a 1 month pilot. It would only be 2 meetings instead of 4 meetings. I don't know, I think.
Yeah. I'm confused. He's got a problem with what again?
So
Getting one on what agenda?
the initiative that's being floated around is
This
for
initiative?
No. This is the public
Public initiative.
a public initiative to have like 6 minutes and 60 minutes.
Okay.
Um,
What's in here?
Yeah, it's in here now.
Yeah.
But what if it doesn't stay?
Okay.
So he wants to make sure it gets approved by city council
Okay.
before he has time, before he has to actually submit it to get it on the ballot. You know what I mean?
You mean to get it on the ballot?
So I think he's got it.
or-
He didn't have the exact date, but he was thinking it was like in July sometime. And so he wanted to make sure that we had these rules agreed to and approved before July.
You're
Because
talking about the November ballot?
yeah, the November ballot. Yeah, yes, because it's got to go to. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
no.
pretend to know the process. I don't. So. So I just wanted to give him enough time. It's like if it. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I didn't realize. that
I'm
we were
not
up against-
passionate about how long this pilot is. I mean, I think we'll figure it out. It's quick enough. I mean,
Yeah. I guess I didn't realize.
or do you guys?
I didn't realize we were working up against a November ballot.
No, I didn't either. I just learned that today. That's new
all right.
information. An hour ago.
Well, the people that put the ballot or put the issue on the ballot, I believe if they could take it off if they don't want it.
Right,
That's
exactly.
basically-
That's
so-
the point. So if they like what they see in here, they will take it off. They won't pursue it with the ballot. I don't think. I mean, yeah, actually, Tom was of the opinion they like this structure better than what's actually written in their initiative. Is what he told me.
Okay.
So here's his preference would be now we did change it. It just went from 6 minutes to 4 minutes. So that's I don't know, but.
Part of me wants to see more than 2 meetings with this process for the pilot to see how it really works. There's going to be adjustments from meeting to meeting.
Well, I don't envision. I envision it stays the same for 4 meetings, and then we
Right.
make one more rewrite, or that's not a rewrite, some minor edits.
Minor
whatever.
edits, and then
Right.
then have a final product. But I don't know. I'm just thinking the first one you're going to have probably some hiccups anytime you do
Yeah.
significant changes. Second one should be better.
Well,
and
how about
then,
if we went to,
3 meetings?
something 3 meetings? I don't know. He wasn't sure of the exact date that he had to have that by.
Okay. Well,
I just want to try to accommodate that if we can. Want to try 3? Or
If you wish, I guess I'd just be under the impression to leave it the way we got it. And I didn't think we were doing any harm to anybody.
yeah.
And that it had to go for a referendum.
Mhm.
But
all right, you want to just leave it?
I would.
Yeah, I
2
think
months,
so.
4 readings? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay.
In fact, the next, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so that was E. So now F. So if it's approved, we initiate the pilot. If it's rejected, then we edit whatever comments we get, and then we just redo it. And then upon conclusion of the pilot, we incorporate, all the feedback we get from the community and council, and then we finalize the rules, and then we disband the ad hoc committee. I think that's kind of the process that I see it.
I think that says it all. Well done.
Okay, so did you want to take any other comments, or are we done? Or
I think we've got what we need. Just need a motion and a second and on the proposal.
Well, I'd move to accept the proposal with the edits that we've
the way
made.
the edits just be made? Okay, I'll second that.
All right. All right. All those in support of the recommended changes to the council rules, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. All right. The motion is adopted.
All right.
Question. Did we accept the modifications to this form, and is the form?
That's all part. That's all part of the
All
proposal.
part of it, yep.
That's all part of it. Yeah.
Fine and dandy.
All right. This concludes the ad hoc committee meeting for rules of procedure for city council. Thank you.